Welcome, folks, to this special edition of HorseCity.com TV. I'm General Manager Ryan Dorn, along with professional rodeo announcer and the host of our program, Alan Moorhead, and we are here in beautiful Augusta, Georgia for the 2005 National Barrel Horse Association World Championships. It's called for short the NBHA. Tell the folks at home a little bit about
it's where the fast horses are. And the NBHA, Ryan, it's a divisional formatted barrel racing association.
Okay.
And it's governing competition, not only in the United States, but from across America. And here this year at our World Championship show, of the 22,000 members we have competitors from Canada, we have competitors from Italy, we have competitors from Panama, and of course the United States. There are, like I said, 22,000 members in the NBHA, and there are 948 that have paid entry fees to qualify for the NBHA Open World, and 336 for the 50 and older seniors.
Oh, that's great. Now, they compete in different divisions, so people at home might be thinking of barrel racing from the old rodeo days where the fastest time wins. Well, the fastest time will win, but you don't have to be the fastest time to win money. So tell the folks at home a little bit about the 4D format.
Well, the 4D format, Ryan, it basically comes from the drag strip in bracket racing.
All right.
The way it starts, and you mentioned old-time rodeo, and it's still used in rodeo today, where the fastest horse and top 6 or top 8, they're going to earn all the money that's there. But in a 4D barrel racing format, and like the bracket racing, slower horses can still win some money. So the fastest horses are going to win the rodeo division, the first division, and then we come off the half-second mark from that winning time and pay a full second division. And then there's a second off third division. And 2 seconds is what separates into the 4D. So you can take a pasture horse, you can take a trail riding horse, bring them to an NBHA barrel race and win some money and come to the World Show where the fast horses are.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, folks, you're in for a treat. I wish we had time to show you the entire show, but we're going to focus in on the highlights in this special edition of HorseCity.com TV. Alan, we talked about a little bit before about a qualified ride, so let's tell the folks at home, 3 turns, doesn't matter how far you go around the barrel, right?
3 turns and 3 turns only. I mean, you can go a mile around them if you want to. The job is to leave them standing with those 3 turns and 3 turns only, right or left, and then back out to a number.
Now, we're going to see here an example of somebody that's going to tip one over, and in the old rodeo days, it was a 5-second penalty, but now what happens?
With a 4D formatted barrel race, it becomes a no time. It's a disqualification. It's just as bad as being off pattern, even while you're still on it.
You bet. Now, here's a gal that's going to give us an example of how it can be done. She touched the barrel, so is that a penalty? Or?
No, it's perfectly legal. You can touch them. I mean, it can go almost all the way down to the ground, but as long as it's standing when you cross that score line, legal run.
You bet. Now, this is something we don't want to see, with someone trying to set that barrel up so much that they lose their seat and end up in the dirt.
Well, the balance just sometimes goes away, and, man, we hit some of that Georgia red clay.
Now, people that think this is easy, you see a run like this, and, as a parent, Alan, you're right, we don't want to see anything like that, but this is not easy, so let's get started.
Now, here's a guy, Ryan, that's been to this World Championship show many times. He's from North Carolina, Ronnie Moore, Marshville, North Carolina. And on the television, you're not going to realize this paint horse is 17 hands high.
That's great.
He's got a stride of Georgia, I promise you, and gets around them quickly.
16,330 and a $400 winner, Alan.
Here's a cowgirl that's been a regional national champion of this, Dixie region of National Barrel Horse Association. Makes her home in Social Circle, Georgia. Rides another paint horse by the name of J.H. Mr. Dillon. There's Susie Bond.
You bet. 16,238, $456 at the pay window. Good job, Susie.
Solid horse. Ed Adamson of Lothian, Maryland. Packing Jet Flames, a Packing Sixes bred horse.
Well bred.
Exactly right. There's a lot that goes into the breeding, the thought process of getting a world champion bred horse. You bet.
Whether it's the 4th D or the 1st D, still a great run. 16,208 and $595, and we're moving right on.
Well, here's a guy, Ryan, is one of our regional directors. He's got a lot of responsibility, not only in keeping up with his horses, but in aiding with running the National Barrel Horse Association. Knox, Indiana's hometown to Charlie Walker, and an outstanding horse he's had for many years, Mr. Hardybug.
And here's a guy that's a neighbor of both ours, Mr. C.D.J.
Always fun to watch a horse that you start, and here's a horse that's got some nice breeding behind him as well. They call him Holy Grays by a stallion by the name of Holy Shaker, and this little mare is running some great numbers.
You bet. 15,316 and $527 check. That's a good run for C.D. Jacobone.
Well, it's finally a World Championship belt buckle from our good friend JT Champion from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Now, he's been a reserve world champion in the first division on this great mare. Pour on some more, and you watch her, she'll do it. Pour on some more.
$15,286 and $703.
Well, Ryan, now we're going to go down to Lowell, Florida, the Sunshine State, and there's a ton of great horses in the state of Florida. This one's ridden by Diane Roberts, called Mr. Dothan Myers.
You bet. Second division is nothing to shake a stick at, and I'll tell you, these are some fast runs of 14, 7, 9, 9, and $644.
We're going to go to Pendleton, South Carolina, and here's a guy that's been running horses for a long time. Jerry Tatham has a paint and body shop there in Pendleton, and sometimes these barrels need some paint and body as well, but here's a guy that leaves them standing, and he's riding Desire to Dash.
$743 and a 14,740. And then another one of our friends from Beach Island, South Carolina. We're going to see some of them tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, he's riding the Yellermina, the Palomina, if you will, the Yellow Horse, Georgia Firewater. I've loved this horse forever and ever. Richard Eisen is the cowboy of Beach Island, South Carolina.
$991 and a winning time of 14,704. Coming up next down, we're going to take a look at the 1D of the Senior Open Finals and Martha Josie. Boy, folks, stick around for that. Then we're going to get right on to the Open. And Alan, there's going to be some great stuff, some great interviews, and all kinds of fun runs coming up.
Kids, pros, it's about excitement, and it's in Augusta.
You bet. We'll be back in just a minute with more of this special edition from the NBHA World Championships.
Welcome back to Augusta, Georgia, and HorseCity.com TV in a special edition of HorseCity.com TV, the NBHA World Championship Show. And we're into the fastest horses, the fastest qualifiers of the seniors. It's not about age, Ryan, it's about experience. And Debbie Brown of Swayze, Indiana, rides a horse by the name of T Elite.
You bet when you see a time like this, a 14,505, a $1,300 paycheck, that's something to be proud of.
Absolutely. The first lady of barrel racing from Karnak, Texas. WPRA World Champion, NBHA World Champion, an Olympic gold medalist. The first name you think of when it comes to ladies and horses, Martha Josie, World Champion, Red Man Bay.
14,457 and taken to the pay window once again, but she's followed up close behind by a guy we know well, former world champion, Chuck Tolbert.
Well, when you've got 3 world championships behind you, what is it to earn a 4th? It takes a number on a mare by the name of What a Sharp Chick from Ole, Illinois, like this.
14,170.
And with that, we move into the Open Finals, and man, of the numbers that we started with and what we have left, is going to be an exciting night. This is Kenneth Sweeney of Rogersville, Tennessee. He's riding a horse by the name of Just Darby.
You know, a culmination of a year's worth of hard work to run in the red dirt here in Augusta, Georgia for that 16-122, something to be proud of.
Absolutely. Gary Blaisdell of Pepperell, Massachusetts, rides a horse by the name of Red's Dash, and we're into the 4th division qualifiers, and as you said a moment ago, it takes a year's long of dedicated work to get to the NBHA World Show in the first place.
You bet, and $1,700 for a paycheck, Alan, that's something to be proud of.
We're going to go to Nicholas Nunley, and we're back up into the northeast region of the country, just out of Massachusetts. We're to Bluefield, Virginia. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder, on Blitzen. Here's Comet from Santa Claus crowd.
$2,200 is the paycheck, a time of 16,105 for Mr. Nunley.
Well, through the launch pad, we go to our 4D world champion, Janet Epperson of Hannibal, Missouri. He's riding a horse by the name of Cowboy Way.
What a nice ride, and the 4th division is something to be
Well, you know, you talk
of.
about being fast, you talk about quick numbers. Smooth is fast, and that was smooth.
16,052, and Alan, you had a chance to catch up with Janet.
4D world champion, 2005, Janet Epperson, Hannibal, Missouri. Janet, what are your thoughts right now on winning a world title in 2005?
Well, I came here to do it. This is my second world title, and I'm certainly glad I was able to do it.
So a repeat world champion. Now tell us about your horse, Cowboy Way. How old he is, how he's bred, and how long you've been riding him.
Cowboy Way is 11 years old, and he's only been doing barrels for about a year. And he's bred to special effort and dynamic effort is what he goes back to.
Now, what are some of the things you do when you're not barrel racing?
Cleaning house.
Now, you said that Cowboy Way's only been barrel racing a short amount of time. Did you start him and put him on the barrels yourself?
No, and the girl out in Oklahoma started him, and he had been doing barrels about 3 months, and then I took him over, and we've been doing barrels ever since.
A repeat world champion. Congratulations.
All right, back to the third division. Alan and Sandra, all the way from Marshall, Texas. How do you say that last name?
That's Sandra J. Gott from Marshall, Texas. And she is a first hand at helping Martha Josie at many of her clinics, and quite the talent on board the horse as well.
That's great. $15,101 and $1,783.
We're going to go to Pillion, South Carolina, an up-and-coming star in the barrel racing ranks from South Carolina. J.D. Neese, he's riding straight talking Champus.
J.D.'s going to have a good run and turn in a time of 15.080 and earn a $2,100 paycheck to take home to the ranch.
We're going to go to Kim Foster. We're going to Hughesville, Maryland. Naturally Slow and Easy is the name of the horse, and just to take it easy and have that smooth run to turn in numbers for a possible world championship, that's taking care of business.
Look at that. That's a nice horse. A time of 15.076 and $2,800 at the pay window.
We're going to go to Elko, Georgia, and it's a youngster running against the pros and the big dogs, Drew Benefield, and a great youngster to know. I mean, he's just bashful, shy, quiet. Shasta's the name of his horse. Here's a kid that just has a big time.
Putting on a good show of 15.056 and $3,500.
Well, we're talking to Drew Benefield. Drew, congratulations on your third division world title.
Appreciate it.
Now, did you know you have that thing won? I was announcing, I looked at the numbers, and I knew you had to be close.
You called it out.
What are your thoughts on your run tonight for a world title?
It'll work.
Well, tell us about your little old horse, Shasta.
She ain't real big, but she does good.
Has a lot of heart.
A lot of heart.
Well, congratulations on a 3D world title.
Up next on this special edition of HorseCity.com TV, we're getting to the fast horses. The second division and the first division winners are going to show their stuff. It should be excellent, exciting, and worth sticking around for. So stick around and stay close. This special edition of HorseCity.com TV.
Welcome back to HorseCity.com TV. Well, with the numbers in from the seniors, results are final. It's Chuck Tolbert, What a Sharp Chick, with a fourth world title in a row. And it's Ricky Eisen from Beach Island, South Carolina, on the Palomino with a second division world championship. Then you look at the third division is JT Champy, Orangeburg, South Carolina. The mayor pour on some more. Ed Adamson wins the 4D in the seniors with Pack and Jet Flames. And already numbers in from the Open, Janet Epperson, Drew Benefield, fourth and third divisions. Back to more action of the Open, and as you said a few moments ago, we're getting to the fast horses. Here's Cowgirl from Mississippi. Rodeos, runs NBHA, also does Barrel Futurities of American Futurities. The Cowgirl, Carrie Thompson, Morton, Mississippi, Noel's Alibi.
14.595, a half second off the winning time, and that's excellent.
Right where you want to be, and that's a good rodeo number. Stacy Buffkin is from Bentonia, Mississippi, rides a horse by the name of Mixed Connection, looking to connect with numbers for a possible Gist Gold and Silver belt buckle.
You bet. Look at this nice, a smooth, pretty run. 14.576 is the time, $3,000 paycheck.
I'll promise you this kid is old enough to ride. While she's small, she's got a ton of talent and a lot of heart. Jody Lucenort from a rodeo barrel racing family in Byron Center, Michigan, rides Gambling Dynasty.
What a pretty run, 14.571 for Jody, and a paycheck of $4,000 in Augusta, Georgia.
Here's a name that you and I have seen many times, especially in our rodeos in this part of the country, whether it's SRA or IPRA. Susie Justice, Hendersonville, North Carolina, Pack and Heat. Another one of those great bred horses.
You bet. $5,000 paycheck for her win, a 14.522.
Well, Susie, congratulations on your 2D World Championship 2005. What are your thoughts right now after this exciting win?
I'm just so excited to have this horse. He's really been very fortunate to have him, and I've been here every year except the first year, and so I'm just so excited to win it, and I'm going to keep trying till I win the 1D.
Well, there you go. That's the deal. Now, I know you rodeo a lot, too. Is Packing Heat the horse you rodeo with?
I have 2 horses that I rodeo with, and they're about equal. I have him and a mare.
Now, tell me this. What are your thoughts now after winning this world championship on NBHA competition as opposed to rodeo?
Oh, I just like them both. I like going to the shows. It's more relaxed, and I like the rodeo, too, because you get there, you get in, you get out, and it's pretty exciting, too.
Now, Packing Heat, what's the breeding on this horse?
He is a son of Packing Sixes, and he's by Bugs Alive mare.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations, Susie Justice, world champion.
Thank you.
Up next on this special edition of HorseCity.com TV, we're getting to the champions, the 1D, the top of the heat, the top of the crop. We'll be back with more from the NBHA World Show after this.
Hi, I'm Ty Murray. Be sure and catch Extreme Cowboy Race 2 on RFD TV.
Welcome back to HorseCity.com TV special presentation of the NBHA World Championship Show. Now we're to the ones that are the pace setters at any divisional formatted barrel race. Here's last year's Open 1D World Champion, 12-year-old from Veneta, Oklahoma, Tierney Steinhoff, on board the great Nate Shilabar.
Man, a time of 14:2.00, and the crowd is on their feet and $2,800 in her pocket.
Julie Erickson's from Winona, Minnesota. Gee Whiz Gypsy, the name of her horse.
I like that name.
All right, now here's a cowgirl that takes no chances. It's safety first, and when you're running blistering numbers like this, we're talking about 30 miles an hour. You come off, helmet's on, keeps you from getting hurt. $14,135 and $3,441 in earnings.
Chuck Tolbert, we've seen him in the winner's circle. If it was the Olympics, he'd be standing on top of that podium, Alan, over and over again on what a sharp chick, what a horse I would like to own personally. 14,069, $4,500 paycheck. Big money here in Augusta.
Here's a young lady from Brunswick, Georgia, and here's a horse and a rider combination. When they show up, folks worry about if they're going to win anything.
That's the truth.
Sarah McDonald on GC, highly motivated, was motivated to be the fastest time of the weekend.
14,051, and you had a chance to catch up with Sarah and talk about her win.
Sarah, it's been a great year for you. 2D World Championship in Jackson, Mississippi. Now you went to 1D World in the Open. What are your thoughts?
I'm really happy and glad that my horse worked good.
Now, how old are you and what grade are you in school?
I'm 13, 8th grade.
Now, what other things do you do other than barrel race?
I play basketball and softball.
Now, GC, highly motivated. Tell us about your horse. How long you had him?
I've had him for about 2 years.
And tell us some of the other things you've won on your horse, GC, highly motivated.
The youth and the 2D in Jackson, and the President's Cup, the 1D, and 2004, and the Dixie Nationals youth.
Well, congratulations on a world title in the 1D.
What a great week here in Augusta, Georgia, the NBHA World Championships, and there's our guy at the top again, Chuck Tolbert, winning the Senior 1D, Alan.
Well, that's consistency. That's 4 in a row. Mare likes small patterns, likes the building, and I think she just likes the crowd. And then it's Ricky Eisen on an outstanding yellow horse, the Palomino, Georgia Firewater. JT champion, the 3rd division. Ed Adamson in the 4D.
You bet. Janet Epperson rounded out the bottom of our open division with the 4D championship. Drew Benefield, Susan Justice, a great rodeo ambassador from North Carolina, rounds out the top of our 2nd division.
And then when you get to the pace setters, the 1D, it's last year's world champion in the Open, Tierney Steinhoff at 12 years old, and back in the top 5 on Nate Shilabar, hot shot. Julie Erickson wins a 3rd division title.
And look there, Chuck Tolbert again, and the one to always watch out for if you ever hear a name at a barrel race, watch out, Sarah McDonald. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of HorseCity.com TV. A lot of excitement, Alan, in the arena tonight.
Eight absolutely outstanding horses. And folks, don't forget to join us on our regularly scheduled HorseCity.com TVs right here on RFD TV.